Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 140 of your favourite Formula 1 show. Today we return with, of course, Jamie183 for a US Grand Prix preview. Jamie, how are you doing, my guy?
I'm good. I'm excited for the Formula 1 this weekend. And yeah, it'll be another sprint race, just like Qatar. It's good to be back. And yeah, the US Grand Prix are always quite funny, just because the amount of celebrities that you get there that Martin Brundle annoys on the grid walks is always a highlight of the weekend whenever they're in the US for me. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, the last US Grand Prix, of course, back in Miami earlier on this year, we had the iconic driver walkouts, didn't we, that everybody hated, apart from Yuki Tsunoda. He was quite into that, bless him. But of course, quickly, before we dive too far into the show, if you're watching this on my main channel, we've only got probably 15 episodes left of Knowing Wheel on the Matt212 YouTube channel. It really does feel like the beginning of the end. It's kind of wild, but luckily it is not the end of your favourite Formula 1 show. There'll be a link down in the description below to the Knowing Wheel channel, where all the podcasts will be going live exclusive in 2024. And of course, we quickly got to do a sub update. Jamie, apparently you've been gaining some subs for some reason.
Yeah, I just checked. I'm on +6 in the last 28 days, which is a little bit crazy considering I haven't uploaded a video in over 2 years. So I'm on 547 on my personal channel.
We're up to 250, bang on. So we're a quarter of a way to 1,000. But yeah, we're still just under 300 away from Jamie. So that gap is still continuing to come down.
Yeah, get unsubscribing from my own channel. It's not going to get any videos on it anytime soon. And yeah, go subscribe to the podcast channel, please.
I reckon what we should have done now in hindsight is convert your channel to the Knowing Wheel channel.
That actually would have been quite smart.
That could have been quite a sensible idea.
Yeah, never mind. It's too late.
We're way too deep now to be going back on that. But yeah, obviously for those of you that enjoy listening to the podcast, you're going to get a lot more of us over the next few weeks because we're back with a triple header, aren't we, Jamie? Including 2 sprint weekends.
We are, and there's an awful lot of Formula 1 to come over the next 3 weeks. So yeah, I'm not sure how much of it I'll be able to watch live. I don't not much of it this season, but we'll be here to 2 podcasts a week for the next 3 weeks. I get to speak to Matt so much; it'll be lovely.
It's going to be beautiful. I mean, the races are quite late in the evening, so you might have a better chance than normal.
Well, there you go. I guess the Las Vegas will be quite early, won't it?
Vegas is 6 a.m. Sunday morning.
Oh, easy.
But that's not part of the triple header.
Oh, is it not? Well,
no.
There you go. That shows how much I've been paying attention to the calendar this season.
Yeah, we've obviously got the USA this weekend, Mexico and Brazil forming a triple header.
Oh, sweet. I can watch 2 out of 3. Nice. There we go.
We love it. We absolutely love it. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, Jamie, but the sprint race this weekend for us in the UK is at 11 p.m.
Nice. Okay. Wow. Why is that?
I'm guessing it's because all of the US people that are going to the Grand Prix, I don't know who they've hired, but it's probably like Taylor Swift or something. And obviously they want to make sure that they just stay to watch her afterwards rather than just leaving. Yeah. So Taylor Swift isn't playing for 4 people.
I would stay for Taylor Swift more than the F1.
What staggeringly I found out, because I can't remember if it was last year or whether it is this year, because my brain's now all scrambled. But I believe actually the US Grand Prix was like one of the cheapest concerts to go to.
It probably would
for
be.
One of these musicians, which is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Cheapest Taylor Swift tickets are
like £350 or something.
Well, they've really struggled for tickets for COTA for some reason.
I guess it's in the middle of nowhere because America's really big, which I don't know if you knew, but and COTA is quite a long way from Austin. They just say it's Austin, Texas. So
it's
a
10
little bit
miles south, I believe, if David Croft has not lied to me inside the F1 game.
Well, I suppose even so, getting to Austin, Texas from anywhere in America, you have to get on a plane, basically. So that'll make it quite annoying.
Yeah, there's the potential there for it to be a bit frustrating. But of course, we've actually got some news stories to go through, rather than just rambling on throughout the next half hour or so. And I guess the first one then, Jamie, has got to be Haas's B-spec car. We've hyped this up, or you've hyped this up. What are we expecting? And a new livery.
3-4, easy. probably Magnussen on third and Hogg fourth.
Most likely.
Yeah, I'm excited. Every B-spec car this season, except Alfa Romeo, has hit the ground running. So, yeah, obviously we had McLaren bring a B-spec, and suddenly they were finishing on the podium from being nowhere. I'm not saying that will happen, but if they're in the conversation with Aston Martin and Alpine, I'll be very happy.
I love this. So, for a bit of background fuel, Jamie now has decided he's going to start pushing the agenda that the Alpine is better than the Aston Martin before we did today's show, when it's just Stroll's bad. I
was saying that Alonso still has not an okay chance. He has like an outside chance of finishing second in the championship in what is currently the sixth fastest car. And Matt was like, it's not the sixth fastest car.
It's fifth fastest.
Let us know in the comments what's faster, Alpine or Alonso.
Aston Martin. Yeah, basically is the question we're asking. But of course, even if Haas, like I said, can get into that fight, I mean, let's be fair, it's Haas. We're not expecting them to be fighting right at the front. Mainly, obviously, because they just are Ferrari's customer. But it would be wild, wouldn't it, if suddenly Haas have got the potential for podiums and then we've got like 6. I mean, it's still Red Bull out in front. But, if they were sort of there beefing McLaren, that could be quite wild, couldn't it?
Yeah, I would love to see. I think I had it in a dream, actually, over the last weekend at Holt got a podium in Austin.
Deary me. Shocking behaviour.
Tells you how exciting my life is.
That is, like, sickeningly disgusting.
It could be a prophecy.
I don't believe it. I think it's you have some really poor dreams, my friend.
We shall see.
I mean, yeah, I'm not optimistic. I think, if it allows them to score a few points before the end of the year, obviously they're still locked into that battle with Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri kind of, and Williams. AlphaTauri are probably a bit too far back. Williams, in the terms of the points, are probably a bit too far forward. Maybe, it could even be just that they beef with
11
Stroll.
Points. If Hulk gets a 5th place somewhere.
Yeah, but he won't, is my point.
Well, why not?
Because it's Hulk.
He got a 5th place in... Well, he should have had a 3rd place in Australia if the stewards did their stewarding right.
He should have had a podium there. That was quite funny.
Still salty about that. 1 of 2 point scores all season, but we take it.
Exactly. And to be fair, as you pointed out a few weeks ago, he scored in he was going to score more in Australia. He scored in Austria. We're heading to Austin.
Exactly.
Who knows?
And he's very good at sprint weekends too, because he obviously got the front row. No, that wasn't a sprint weekend. He got the 6th place in Austria sprint. Would have scored a podium in the sprint race at Qatar if Ocon hadn't taken him out. Everyone was on softs ahead of him. Maybe 4th. Sorry, he was going to finish.
I thought he was on softs.
He was running 4th out the medium runners, and all the softs were dying.
Okay.
So
could have happened.
And more points robbed because the French can't drive. And we're going to Austin, which is another good sounding track for him. And yeah, he used to do well here at Force India back in the day. It's all looking good.
I love just listening for a couple of minutes each week to Jamie's absolute hopium on the show.
It'll happen. He's going to get a podium before he retires. We still believe.
I don't think he'll retire until he gets a podium, but he might get booted again. Pastor Maldonado, and who did he else get booted for?
Ocon.
It was Ocon. So 2 very, very good drivers.
2 very poor decisions from team managers.
Well, cash money, baby. Another driver that, talking about drivers getting booted, we're going to segue that one beautifully. Sergio Perez has been given an ultimatum, apparently by Red Bull, that he must finish P2 this year. Otherwise, he is getting dropped. Now, that means that obviously Hamilton's mistake in Qatar might have bigger ramifications, but it might also mean that Hamilton's got a better or Mercedes has got a better chance of beating Red Bull next year if they're still lumbered with Perez.
That's harsh on Perez. I think he'll take the winter to reset, but yes.
Will he be P2? Are you saying he's going to finish P2?
Hamilton is 30 points behind Perez right now.
Yeah.
Perez reasonably should be able to keep that. But this is Sergio Perez, so who knows?
It only takes a couple of P4s, P5s for Lewis and P9s, P10s for Checo, which sounds ridiculous on paper, but is not unlikely anymore.
And the way things are going, especially.
It could be really close by the... it would not surprise you if that's the one that goes down to Abu Dhabi at the end of the year.
I think Hamilton will still have a mathematical chance getting Abu Dhabi, but it'll be he'll need to outscore him by 15, 20 points or something.
You reckon he's only going to take 10 points out of him between now and then?
I
Bearing in mind, we've got how many races, including sprints?
Mercedes
7?
Mercedes is probably the third best car right now.
Yeah.
And that, if it's a normal weekend, limits Hamilton to P4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Like, especially the way the McLarens are driving and Verstappen, obviously. Like, is a bunch of P4s and Perez getting a bunch of P8s. That's what, a 6-point difference.
That's easily enough, Jamie. That's easily enough.
But then there's going to be some race. Perez won't lose to Hamilton every race. Sure.
Won't he? When was the last time Perez beat Hamilton?
What,
Monza? Oh, Qatar, yeah, I suppose.
But then Monza, yeah.
I think there's genuinely, now we've sat down and thought about this a bit more, I reckon there's actually a legitimate chance here.
But if Perez has a normal weekend, he finishes second, and Hamilton.
Yeah, but he doesn't, does he?
Well, he's had a couple recently.
When?
Belgium and Monza, the tracks that.
So before and just straight after the summer break.
Yeah, there's only 4 races to go.
Deary me, I love.
If you had to put money on it, where would you put it right now, Perez or Hamilton?
We're not going to start gambling here, but
well, no, hypothetical.
If I was a betting man, what are the odds, Jamie? You seem to live on Betfred, apparently.
I don't know. I don't have a betting account anywhere, so okay. I just use the Formula 1 document, Formula 1 article each week. I'm like, who's going to finish second? It's usually Lando Norris. So
fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm going to say Hamilton wins that out. I reckon Hamilton's going to finish second in the championship for the 4th time in his F1 career.
07. When was the other ones?
16, 21, yeah.
All deserved.
Imagine that, 7 world titles and you finish runner-up 4 times.
Well, the Michael did that
stats.
too, didn't he? So.
Did he? Did he finish second 4 times?
I think so.
06, 98.
93, I think he was second.
Was he? No, he can't have been. Senna was. 93, Senna was definitely
he was
second.
High up.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I'm on it. Oh, 4th. Never mind.
Yeah, there you go.
Just chatting rubbish as usual.
And I'm not having 1997 either.
Yeah, 97 counts.
There you go. Pushing your agenda as best as possible. Yeah, I think I'm going to genuinely say Lewis finishes P2 this year.
Nah, I'll back Checo. He'll get a P2 at Mexico like always.
Will he, though? Will he be announcing his retirement there, though, Jamie?
Hamilton's already caught up to him immediately by his agent, by the way.
Yeah, but they're not going to go, oh, yeah, no, he's going to announce his retirement there. Otherwise, he's already done it, hasn't he? I don't know, Jamie. I really, really do not know. Formula Academy? They've announced a new calendar for next year, Jamie. Are you excited for this?
I will probably not watch any of it, but not because I don't want to, because I barely watch Formula 1. So I do not have the time,
there you go,
sadly.
Ladies and gentlemen. Jamie183, a sexist pig. You won't watch women in Formula 1 cars. It's a shocking revelation.
If they made highlights on the Formula 1 YouTube channel, I would probably give them a watch.
They do already.
Do they? Yes. When was the last time they raced?
A long time ago.
Okay, I haven't seen them in a long time.
You just really dug yourself a hole there. But yeah, next year though, obviously they're actually racing alongside the F1 calendar this weekend, I believe, in COTA. So I might try and see if I can catch those races. But yeah, next year they're going to be joining the F1 circus at Jeddah, Miami, Spain, Zandvoort, Singapore, Qatar, and Yas Marina, which seems like one of the dumbest junior calendars I've ever witnessed. Yeah, it does. Like, you couldn't really split it across the globe anymore unless you went to Japan or Australia. I know you are going to Singapore. Yeah, you literally couldn't split it anymore. Yeah, unless you went to Australia, basically. I mean, it would not surprise me if they announced that Formula 1 Academy in 2027 is racing on the moon with the way they're expanding this thing.
And they've got about 2 months on average between each race, which is great.
That's great also wildly... I mean, no, apart from the last 2 races. They're a week apart, So, I mean, I've got no problem with, of course, them wanting to try and showcase it a bit more. And I understand, of course, that they don't want to clash it too much with F2 and F3 weekends. But I think that's because they're worried about drawing comparisons more than anything else. They're the same cars as F3, are they? Or have I made that up? I believe they're slightly slower. Okay. Yeah. But even so, this calendar is wild. Like, 2 Middle East races,
No, 3 Middle East races.
That'll go down well.
Oh yeah, they're great. I mean, sports washing FC, why not? 1 in the US, 2 in Europe, 1 in East Asia. It's like, wow, great. Carbon neutral Formula 1 2030. Love it.
We love it. We absolutely love it there. But, we to balance it out, we have also said, it's genuinely also only viable because F1 are pouring so much money into this to all of those teams as well. So I guess that, is kind of why they're going to.
It's a good thing to be. Yeah, it's a good idea. I just think the calendar is
I guess it kind of works as well in the regard, of course, that most of those races are in the evenings for us in Europe.
I guess so, yeah.
So it'll be something to watch a bit earlier in the day. But it still seems like some rogue choices. I mean, they should have just thrown Baku in there or something like that as well, just to keep the rogueness up. But yeah, Formula Academy, new calendar for next year.
Yes.
Danny Rick is back, Jamie, this weekend in his AlphaTauri.
Ricky Bobby, as he wants.
Ricky Bobby, ready for Kota.
I'm not surprised he made it back for the American Grand Prix. He absolutely loves it. That's like his second nationality, pretty much. So, yeah, I think it's good for him. I'm glad to see him back. But obviously, I like Liam Lawson quite a lot, so it's a shame to see him go. But yeah, if he can, like he did in Hungary, I guess, come in and immediately perform quite well, that'd be impressive. Because it's basically like a first race back for him because he's been out for so long now.
Well, this was the question I was going to ask. Did he perform that amazingly in his 2 races back?
Hungary was okay.
Hungary was okay, but then Belgium he got not cleaned up by Tsunoda, but Tsunoda was clearly quicker.
He was definitely second
all
best.
weekend. But Lawson hasn't showcased that once really to Tsunoda, has he? Apart from the mistake in the sprint in Qatar, I believe he's beat Tsunoda all 3 times.
Yeah, 4 times. Wait, no, I'm looking at him compared to Magnussen.
Yeah.
Well, Tsunoda got a DNS. Yeah, apart from Qatar, Lawson was ahead of the other 3 races they both started.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happens now then when Ricciardo doesn't beat Yuki? Not saying he has to beat me every single time, but what happens if he does? What happens if it's quite 50-50 like it was in the 2 races they did together? Because Lawson's come in and proven that Yuki is beatable quite easily. Yeah. And we kind of said this all season, didn't we? That Tsunoda was doing a good job at AlphaTauri, but we think it was massively overplayed.
Because the Vries was pretty poor.
What do we say if Ricciardo doesn't, clean up in a way that Lawson has?
I think it's generous to say Lawson's cleaned up. Tsunoda's been quite unlucky. Lawson, I think they've been pretty equal. But if Ricciardo comes in and
Lawson's often had
worse,
the better of him.
Yeah, if Ricciardo comes in and does worse than Tsunoda, then I guess they're too far along the road now to turn back. So they're stuck with this lineup next year. So
I guess it then raises the question, doesn't it? Because
how good is
what
Liam
happens
Lawson?
what happens if what happens if Ricciardo doesn't beat Tsunoda, but Perez loses to Hamilton?
They sign Lando Norris.
That is a very good point. And who then goes to McLaren? Does Ricky Bobby go back? Does Lawson get the call up? Alex Palau?
I doubt Ricciardo does. I could see a world where Lawson ends up there. I could see.
Can you?
Who else would end up at McLaren?
Sainz could go back.
I doubt they put a rookie up, to be honest.
I don't think they really can again, can they? With Piastri still, he's, don't get me wrong, he's comfortable in that team, but I'm not really convinced he's ready to be a number 1.
Looking at the current grid, you would say, yeah, if someone could they tempt Albon? He's obviously in for the long haul at Williams, but with enough money.
I'm not convinced Albon will want to go there.
I
think Albon's very, very happy in his safety of Williams.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think, yeah, to be honest, if Perez doesn't beat Hamilton, I don't see a world they promote Ricciardo or Tsunoda. I think they probably just
basically it's been said, isn't it, that Ricciardo is replacing Perez. It's kind of what they, and even if that's just to sell a few T-shirts for 6 months before they kick him to the curb again, it just is. I mean, I guess they go in, of course, now, because obviously the reason why Ricciardo left was obviously Red Bull was clearly favouring Max back in 17 and 18, which, hindsight is a beautiful thing. Can't blame them too much for. But of course, if Ricciardo comes back into that team, Max is absolutely the big dog now.
And Max is going to roll him over.
Probably.
He would steamroll him easily.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how well that car suits Ricciardo as well, doesn't it? It's such a weird thing because I don't think we've ever had it in Formula 1, have we, where a car suits one driver and no one else as ridiculously as that Red Bull does.
I just think Max is a lot better than all the teammates he's had.
Don't get me wrong, I think he's a better driver than all the teammates he's had, but I think that's been massively compounded by the handling of the car. You look at Perez 2-3 years ago, we were saying, he was a potential world beater in the future again.
What, because he was pocketing Stroll? Well done, mate.
Yeah, but he did 2020, and then 2021 he wasn't far away from Max on a few occasions.
No, he wasn't.
It's kind of weird how it's fallen apart.
Killed each other the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
It's all a little bit
weird.
A lot
to see. I do think Ricciardo would do well, though, and it would be good to see him back. And he's going to absolutely love it, because, every time he does America, he lives his entire dream. I saw he did some donuts in Nashville, so he's clearly ready to return.
He's ready to vibe, is he? We'll bring it back to Max Verstappen, though, Jamie, because apparently, today, he said that once his Red Bull contract expires, he could be tempted by Ferrari, like every other driver. Is he going to do Sebastian Vettel 2.0?
Is he going to break the curse of drivers going to Ferrari and getting the soul beaten out of them? Who knows? I mean, it'd be quite cool to see. Yeah, I mean, in 2028, isn't it? He'll have had 12 years or 12 and a half seasons at Red Bull.
Which is mad.
Probably 8 world championships by then or something.
No, 3.
So, yeah. Could it happen? I could see it. He'd be 31. That'd be quite a cool transfer. But then again, he's, 2026 comes around, he's 6 titles in. It's probably just going to be like, I fancy getting 10 titles and just ruining every F1 record ever at Red Bull.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about the records, does he? Does Max Verstappen?
Well, I think you said it wouldn't change his life, but then when he won the title in 21, it clearly did. So, yeah.
I think always for Verstappen, he's been very, very careful about saying that he doesn't care about the records. More just in case he doesn't beat more of them than he hopes he would.
Yeah.
He's always the impression I've got. Because let's be fair, don't get me wrong, Hamilton and Schumacher absolutely deserve those 7 more titles each. Very easily both could have had more than that as well.
Yeah.
But of course, there is an element of right place at the right time still. But that's the same with every Formula 1
with every great driver, yeah.
Exactly. So, of course, it's, sensibly for a driver of Max's caliber, easy 2 or 3 titles is, a given. At some point or another, you're going to be at the right place where you can do it.
Yeah.
But 7 is a very, very different kind of thing, isn't it? That being said, though, if he ever went to Ferrari, I think they would morally kill him inside 6 months.
I feel like Max would get so done with Ferrari.
He'd be done by the end of round 2.
I think he'd have to take GP with him.
I don't even think that would work.
I can't imagine Max with anyone else.
No, it's a weird thing to think about, isn't it? Because, I mean, it just feels like we're slowly getting to that point, don't we? Where obviously, I was thinking back to, Jamie, there was a German man, about 10 years ago at this point, who was at the absolute top of his game, at the world at his feet.
Won a couple of races in a row, didn't he, one time?
Won a couple of races in a row. And we were kind of there like, will anyone stop this man? And pretty much immediately, that fell apart.
Yeah.
And he went to Ferrari. Obviously, Verstappen's probably got a couple more world championships in the bag before a big rule shake-up. But it was always the quote from Fernando Alonso that sticks with me about Seb. And you know exactly the quote I'm going to say.
I know exactly where you're going. It was phenomenal.
But he always said, he'd be interested to see what Seb could deliver outside of Red Bull. And I just feel like that quote is becoming bigger and bigger with Max Verstappen. Because it just feels like we held Seb in such a high regard. Like, he made us both bored of Formula 1 for a period.
Well, everyone was saying, he was... I remember there were so many news pieces that he was the obvious heir to going to break all the records, going to be the one to get 8 titles, because he was 26 and he had 4 in a row, and it's like, why would this stop?
He's also, I want to say as well, one of the only drivers of all time multiple world champions, more than two, to have then lost a world championship and never won one again.
I don't know what you mean by that. Elaborate.
Like, when any other driver, has sort of won more than 2 world championships, they've often won 2, not then won 1, and gone back and won again. Seb's one of the only drivers I can think of that hasn't then come back and won another one.
Yeah. So Max and Seb are the only ones to have won their first 3 back-to-back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I do think that that quote is phenomenal. I think it was something like, Seb has proven he can be the best when he has the best car. I think what Alonso said was like, one day he'll have a car like the rest of us. If he's finishing P4, P5, P6, then these 4 titles will be bad news for Seb.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is exactly what happened. I mean, we're not trying to rinse Seb too much in this podcast, but Alonso is the GOAT. One of the GOATs.
Okay. Yeah, it really does. It's just one of those things that would be a fantastic experiment in the future. We got a couple of tiny little news pieces. Belgium, that contract's been extended for another 2 seasons, so we get that on the calendar till the end of 2025, which I'm of course very happy with. Jamie, have we got to go to the Belgian Grand Prix one day?
We already have.
It's the only time we've met in person. No, it's not the only time we've met in person anymore, is it? We went on a holiday together.
2 months ago, yeah. Cheers.
2 months ago we did a podcast.
Left a long-lasting memory for you.
You certainly did.
You probably lost most of the memory, to be fair.
And we don't talk about that. Bernie Eccleston is once again a fraud. We're quite happy to announce.
Ever since cutting turn 1 with Jeremy Clarkson in Monaco, he's been cheating. Well, he definitely cheated before that as well. But
definitely.
Yes, he has avoided jail time, but he is a fraud. I don't know what for.
So he has been discovered, Jamie, of hiding £650 million from the taxman, in a Singapore offshore bank.
Classic.
Except for the fact that HMRC did a big thing going, now we've finally caught up with him. And reading into it a bit deeper, it's the second time he's done this. He had 400 million hiding in a Singapore bank in 2015, I think. So how do they know necessarily that they've caught up with him and there's not like another 800 million hiding somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, he's 92 or something. No, he's not.
92 with like a 3-year-old child.
I just made that up. If he's actually 92, that's wild.
He's 92, I believe, with a 3-year-old.
So surely he's never going to use his £800 million, is he? Just, reveal it and give it to the government.
Why you... Okay.
Follow the rules, bro.
Follow the rules, okay. Predictions, Jamie, or quiz for the US Grand Prix?
Let's do the quiz first. Because I am, not looking forward to this.
I think you'll like it.
Okay.
I think you'll like it.
My brain is not in the right headspace today, so...
Okay. Jamie, it's a pretty simple one today. You're bringing it back.
Okay.
You've got to give me top 3 from COTA Grand Prix. COTA 2022 backwards. You've got to give me the top 3 in the correct order, otherwise it's game over. There are a lot of points available for this. I believe like 30 points, I want to say.
30 points. I kind of back myself, but also the second, third place is going to be a bit rough.
Exactly. I wanted to give you a better challenge. I don't want winners. I want top 3s.
Well, you do want winners as part of it.
I want winners first. I want first, second, third.
Year
2022
was Verstappen.
Correct.
Lewis Hamilton should have won the race if he drove faster and actually defended his position.
If he had a quicker car. Almost won the race in the third fastest car.
And who was third place, I wonder?
Because obviously as soon as you get this wrong, it's over.
Well, this could be a short quiz.
It might be a very short quiz, but I like those sometimes.
I remember Max had to overtake Leclerc after his last pit stop, which was really slow. Yeah, I'll go Leclerc. It might be over.
Bang on!
Oh, good.
You got the first one spot on, Jamie.
They did race her in 2021.
They did race her in 2021.
Max won under huge pressure from Lewis.
Yes.
I have no clue who was third between Perez or Bottas.
I am also trying to find the results. Because normally on Wiki is fine.
I have no clue. I think it was Perez, because I think he had 3 podiums in a row towards the end of the season. I'll go Perez third.
Give me 1 second. Oh no, what have I done to it? I've
What
lost
have you
it
done?
entirely.
You can't get this stuff,
Here we
can
go.
you? I think Perez got third in Turkey, USA, and Mexico.
Jamie, you are correct.
Oh, we'll take that.
Bottas famously finished 1 minute and 20 seconds behind Lewis.
Nice.
Down in P6. Because that was when Red Bull pretty much had closed up to him in the championship.
And leading the constructors in Mexico, didn't they?
Yes, but no, they were 1 point back, weren't they? I thought.
What, the year before 2020? They didn't race there.
They didn't race in 2020.
2019.
6 for 6 so far.
Lewis confirmed his 6th title that race, but Bottas won.
Correct.
From Hamilton in 2nd.
Correct.
I want to say Max Verstappen, I think, was there, but I'm not confirming. Hold on.
Correct.
Wait, is that? Oh, good. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's fine. And they were 45 seconds clear of the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Because there you go. So Hamilton beat Bottas by 1 minute 19 in 2021. Max beat Alex by 1 minute 13 in 2019. So clearly Hamilton's superior driver.
2018, Kimi Räikkönen.
He did.
I think Verstappen got P2 from P18 on the grid.
He did?
With Lewis in P3.
Yep, spot on.
There we go. All right, I'm in my stride now. 2017, this is where it falls apart. Vettel took the lead at turn 1 and then still lost to Hamilton. So Hamilton won.
Correct.
Who even drove in 2017? Oh, that was Verstappen's corner cutting. So it was Vettel 2nd, Raikkonen 3rd.
Correct.
Is that right?
You're doing well, my friend. Yeah, that's
that
all spot on.
Okay. 2016, Hamilton won.
Correct.
Rosberg was P2.
Correct.
And Danny Rick.
Correct.
I think, because Rosberg overtook him after the VSC ended, didn't he?
Spot on. You're nailing this.
15 was a crazy race, really good.
It was fantastic as a race. Everything was perfect about it.
Hamilton won from Nico Rosberg, who got caught up by a gust of wind, and then threw his hat at Hamilton. Very funny. And then won 7 races in a row after that. So my goat. Who was P3 though? That's the question. Oh, it was. I think it was Vettel.
Yes, it was
because the Red Bulls were 1-2 for a bit, weren't they? And then they finished 10th in DNF.
Yes, bang on. Max Verstappen finished that race P4 in Toro Rosso.
He did.
Which would have been wild because, of course, he couldn't drink the champagne on the podium.
Yeah.
And fun little fact as well after that race, Jamie. Hamilton actually won the title there, of course, from Vettel, not even from Rosberg.
Yeah. Nice luck. Nice 3 DNFs. Not happy. 14, we're up to.
Yep. Back to.
This is a bit of a guess. Hamilton definitely won.
Yep.
I assume Rosberg came 2nd.
Correct.
Who was good that year? Probably a Red Bull. I can't remember anything about this race. Yeah, I would say it was Danny Rick.
Correct!
There we go.
We love it!
2013.
You've got 2 more to go.
2013.
And these should be easy for you because you're a
Vettel.
nerd back then.
Vettel won.
Yep.
2013, part of the 9 in a row. Webber DNF'd, so it wasn't him. I think Grosjean finished 2nd.
Correct.
I think it was a Mercedes or Alonso. I would guess it was Lewis Hamilton, but I might be wrong.
Hamilton finished P4.
Oh, is it Alonso?
No.
Rosberg?
No.
What? Who was it? Webber?
Webber. Yeah, I don't know why you thought he
retired.
retired.
Webber DNF'd. That's so annoying.
There was only one retirement in that race. It was Adrian Sutil.
Oh, wow.
Are you thinking 2012?
Maybe I'm thinking 2012. He definitely retired one of those 2 years. 2012 would have been Hamilton, Vettel, Alonso.
Yeah, one of the 3 times they all stood on the podium together in their F1 career. Yeah,
That's
Webber
annoying.
had an alternator failure in 2012.
Wow.
I'm afraid.
There you go.
So that's
I just didn't
26, I believe.
I didn't expect Grosjean to beat a Red Bull because the Red Bull were just ridiculous. But fair play, Roman Grosjean.
Webber didn't even finish second that year, remember? So.
No, he didn't.
But Grosjean, yeah, that was, I think, that or Japan, wasn't it? Were like the two races where he genuinely probably should have beat Vettel.
And
or had Kimi not broke his back, he would have done it.
In India, he finished third. No, he finished second from like 17th on the grid. So
yes, yeah. Shall we get our predictions in then, Jamie, for the US Grand Prix?
Yes, indeed. What should I say? We've got a sprint weekend as well, haven't we?
What are the scores on the doors before we go into this?
Oh, yes. Good shout. I am 2 points ahead of you, 58-56.
Okay, so I get to pick first.
You do.
It's beautiful. I'm going to say them, because we just do quali, sprint, winner, and top three, don't we, for this?
Yes.
We might have to change the up 6 year as sprints become more prominent.
Are they becoming more prominent?
They are every year, aren't they? We don't know which races are going to be sprint weekends next year still.
6, to be honest.
Well, it's going to be 8 or 9, I would have thought.
Oh, dear.
I'm going to say Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton.
Is it raining? Oh, it's raining a lot. Oh, no, I'm looking at Colombia. Never mind. There's a place called Cota in Colombia. I just typed in weather Cota. Austin, Texas. Oh, it's not raining at all.
No.
Because they're not racing in Cota, Colombia, as it turns out. I will go Max sprint winner. It was not Max last time, was it?
No. Give us an Oscar Piastri.
Oscar Piastri again. Who's good? Max Verstappen's quite good. I'll go Max. I'll go race winner. Do I just get the feeling that Max is going to have an issue? Could it be his first non-points finish of the year? Yeah, why not? You know what? Here's a debut winner for Lando Norris. It's going to happen.
Really? Okay. That is
Lando,
bold.
Piastri.
McLaren won 2.
McLaren won 2 with Carlos, P3.
So
Gone
McLaren's current and McLaren's former top 3.
There you go.
That is bold, Jamie. And
Max
what I hate is you'll normally finesse this, so you're probably going to get spot on.
Yeah, there you go. Right,
well, you've heard it here, folks.
Lando Norris, first race win. On
Norris
22nd of October.
Is going to become a Grand Prix winner this weekend at Texas. Jamie, as always, my friend, it has been a pleasure. Thank you all so much for listening. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you drop us a sub, drop us a follow, give us all that good stuff. As Jamie would put it, those sweet, sweet interactions. Let us know your top 3 as well down in the comments below. And yeah, we'll be back next week, ready to look back at Lando Norris's first ever Formula 1 Grand Prix victory, apparently.